This is your WWE Hell in a Cell 2018 pay-per-view review. Overall, I'm going to say this right now. I thought Hell in a Cell, going into the show, I had zero expectations. I said this these past couple of weeks leading up to both, Hell in a Cell from Raw and SmackDown. I said this on my reviews that they have failed to excite me. I think for a lot of people as well. And that's been the constant issue with WWE when it comes to pay-per-views, that they have failed to excite the wrestling fan, to make them actually look forward to a Sunday. Let's keep it real about it, And I even said this on Twitter, I think on Tuesday, after watching SmackDown Live, that SmackDown, the go-home show, was depressing. And keep this in mind, I always felt that SmackDown was better than Raw when it comes to the shows, at least. But man, both Raw and SmackDown last week were depressing to sit through. Especially it was being a go-home show. And I always said this before, and I'll always say it again. The go-home show, the purpose is to get the fan excited. To make that fan look forward to a Sunday, like I said earlier. But I will say this right now. Watching Hell in a Cell tonight, I got to give credit where credit's due. WWE actually delivered tonight with Hell in a Cell. Yes, I understand there's some stuff that was BS. Absolutely. I did not agree with the ending of the Hell in a Cell match between Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. I did not agree with the fact that the WWE title was in the middle of the show, like it's been throughout the whole year. I did not agree with the way the match between Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss went, to an extent. Not with the ending of the match, but the way it just went. And especially above all else, I did not agree with the giant bird cage that we saw tonight as the Hell in a Cell being read. And people literally on social media went crazy when the cell was shown. I guess the photo was leaked about it being a red cell. Now keep this in mind. Yes, is it stupid? Absolutely. Do I mind it at the end of the day? When you think about it, not really. If it was up to me, it'd still be the traditional silver cell or white cell, if you will. Then again, it could have been way worse. They could have done, I don't know, burgundy, or they could have done orange for fuck's sake, if you will. But nonetheless, end of the day, watching the show, the show was good. It delivered, like I said. And I'm going to give it a B. I feel like that's fair, but that's my honest opinion. As always, waiting from you guys in the comments below, your thoughts on Hell in a Cell. If you enjoyed the show, if you did not enjoy the show, or are you just mad and upset that Roman Reigns is still the Universal Champion? Let me know. Or the fact that Samoa Joe got robbed tonight, just like Gennady Golovkin got robbed last night against Canelo Alvarez. Like I said, I always wait from you guys in the comments below, or if not on Twitter, at HeelSteven. Also, while you're at it, if you're on this channel right now for the first time, hit that subscribe button down below. We are literally this close, I can almost taste it, to 1,700 subscribers. I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys as well. I'm going to keep it 100. I did not get to watch the kickoff show because I left work at 7:30. And obviously, when I left work, the kickoff match already happened. And I got home late. So there you go with that. So I had to literally rewatch the first match of the main card. So I did hear what happened with the kickoff show between the New Day versus Rusev Day of Rusev and Aiden English. The New Day retained their tag titles. I'll be honest about it, but keep it 100. I honestly thought for a minute that, hey, Rusev and Aiden English, despite the fact that they're going to be probably breaking up real soon and going to Splitsville, that they would at least give them a run with the tag titles. Because I feel like, honestly, the New Day holding on to the belts, it's like the titles are in prison almost. And it sucks, to be honest with you. Yes, I get it. The New Day can sell all this merch, sell all these pancakes, and make you eat pancakes for fuck's sakes. They can make you want to buy their shirts and bootios and stuff like that. And I personally feel like having, the Rusev Day, Team Rusev Day here, with the tag title would have been a facelift to that tag team division. But the way the match ended, it looked like Rusev had the match won. Aiden English tagged in, but the blind tag went for the frog splash and missed. And all that literally ended up with Kofi Kingston hitting the Trouble in Paradise on Aiden English for the 1, 2, 3. So they retained. And there you go with that. We get to the main card here, the main card of the show. By the way, I probably didn't say this earlier, but this review will also be available on audio format on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, also over at Spotify. We have to download on the go, listen to on the go. So if you want to check out the links to all the platforms, down below in the description box, you see all the links to the iTunes, the Podbean, the Stitcher, the Spotify, and all those awesome places you can listen to podcasts and all that fun stuff. But we get the first match on the show. We get Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. I'll be honest with you guys, I am not surprised that this kicked off the show. And I'll be real about it. I thought, honestly, it was a fun match for what they did. And I know a lot of people going into the show were saying, oh, this should not be a Hell in a Cell match. But I said this before, these two guys have been going at it for years, just like 10 years in the making. So I feel like it's only fitting if it's a Hell in a Cell. And also because of the fact that Jeff Hardy did say in an interview that he wanted to have a Hell in a Cell match before he retired. I know Matt retired over the weekend. So again, best of luck to Matt's future. Now that he's retired, maybe he'll still be working backstage, but we'll see. But the match for what this match was, it was a very, very fun match. They used ladders, they used tables. They were fighting outside the cell. There was a moment where Randy Orton was whipping Jeff Hardy with his Jeff Hardy studded belt, this belt that people used to wear back in 2009, 2008. There was a moment, obviously, the big moment where Randy Orton goes out of the ring and grabs like a toolbox, and he grabs a giant screwdriver, and he puts it through Hardy's gauges, right? And he just start twisting shit, and just the visual of that. And again, it's always that small detail that I always like, and I like the fact that Orton went the extra mile, if you will, because one thing is this yanking, and I know it. I have friends that have gauges, I do, and it really does nothing. But just the visual of him twisting the ear and just twirling it and yanking on it, it's grueling. It really, really is. There's a moment, obviously, where Hardy does a swanton on Orton, and I guess the chair, it hits him in the leg, Orton that is, and you see this giant, like, gash on his leg. So you see all the flesh. A lot of blood tonight on this show as well, I'm going to say that too. But I'm going to be real about it. I feel like the ending was a botch, where you have Orton on a table, and you see Jeff Hardy climbing the ladder, and he's done this before, where he leaps off a ladder to another ladder and then lands on the opponent, right? We've seen this numerous times. But because it's in Hell in a Cell, everyone's expecting, oh my god, or Hardy to jump off the top of the cell, or something like that. No, they didn't even leave the cell structure, if you will. They were literally inside the ring, inside the structure. So you see Hardy climbing the ladder, and he decides to like hang himself on, I guess, the roof of the cell, and he's swinging around and shit. And I think what was supposed to happen, he was supposed to let go, and before Hardy lands on the table, Orton was supposed to get out of the way. But I think honestly here, I think both Hardy and Orton missed their cue. So what you had Orton just get out of the way before Hardy even let go of the ceiling where he was swinging on and shit. So Hardy just falls onto the table. You see the referee calling for help, but Orton, being the sadistic person that he is, wants the referee to do the pinfall for the 1, 2, 3. And the referee's like, be hesitant about it. No, he's hurt. Come on, Randy. He's like, damn it, I'll do it. And he did it. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton won. And I'll be real about it too. I think, honestly, having him win made sense. At the same time, we don't even know if this is his last match, that being for Jeff Hardy. But at the same time, I hope this ends the feud, and you see Orton move on to another program. But again, we'll see how things go. But give me your thoughts in the comment threads below, your thoughts on this match. If you enjoyed the match, if you thought, the finish was kind of like, a little botchy. But again, I always wait from you guys, like I said. We then go on to the SmackDown Women's Championship match. We had Charlotte Flair defending the championship versus Becky Lynch. Obviously, everybody was pro Becky. Social media was insane, was going crazy. Oh, justice for Becky. Let's go Becky, if you will. Literally throughout social media. Obviously, Charlotte was getting booed by everyone in the arena in San Antonio. The match, for what it was an okay match. It's back and forth. There was moments where, again, Becky hit the disarmer. Charlotte was doing her usual stuff here as well. Again, there's a crazy back and forth. People were obviously, again, a pro Becky, wanting Becky to win the championship, get her win, right? I enjoyed the build-up to this match. I will say that. Even though, again, I feel like for WWE, it's not the direction they wanted. You can tell, obviously, they wanted Becky to be the heel and have their golden girl being Charlotte Flair, aka Charlotte Reigns, to get all the popularity, all the support, but it didn't really go that way, obviously. The power of the fans. But again, WWE apparently, the good thing about them that they listen to their audiences, apparently. So they do, apparently, if you don't at the end of the match. But the ending of this match literally was Charlotte was going to go for the spear. Lynch countered it, and she literally pinned. She literally did like a roll-up pin, and that literally, like a schoolgirl, the schoolgirl pin, and ended up with Becky becoming the new SmackDown champion. Everyone insane. Everybody went crazy. Becky was like finally, happy for what she did. She finally won. She had her moment. What should have happened at SummerSlam finally happened to Hell in a Cell. And you see Charlotte just like in disbelief and sadness. She's shocked that she lost her title. And she goes on. She's ready to like shake hands with Becky. And think, hey, this is over with. It's done. And she puts out her hand. And the next thing you know, Becky just walks away. Like it's her moment. It's her time. It is crazy because I'll be real about it. I thought, honestly, they're going to have Charlotte Flair retain. Because you think about it, right? Per this leaked card of Evolution, right? The idea is, oh, hey, they're going to go at it again at Evolution. As a matter of fact, on October 6th, they're going to go at it in that Super Show in Melbourne, Australia for the title. So I thought, okay, they'll do a back and forth thing. I mean, they could just maybe, they'll probably do where Charlotte wins the belt back in Australia and then Becky wins it back at Evolution. But at the same time, I don't want the belt to be a hot potato between both women as well. But we'll see how this goes. But I feel like, again, Becky winning got a big pop by everyone. Probably the biggest pop of the night, if you ask me. Then we get the Raw Tag Team Championship match between Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre versus Rollins and Ambrose. This is probably the best match on the show. I'm going to say that right now. If there's any reason to go out of your way to watch this show, it's because of this match right here. These two guys, these two teams here literally went out there and just tore the roof off the place. There's crazy back and forth, crazy just sequences here, near falls. And it's crazy too because people like just the small stuff that got people excited here. Like the fact that, McIntyre wanted Rollins to tag in Ambrose, and Ambrose and McIntyre had like this stare down before they even touch each other in the ring. And I'll be real about it. If there's any program I want to see coming out of this, believe it or not, it's not even freaking Ambrose splitting up from the Shield. It's Ambrose and McIntyre. To be honest with you, that's a program I want to see. But they did this whole thing too where, the referee got distracted and did the whole, he tagged, but the referee didn't see it with Ambrose and Rollins. And just, again, it's a crazy back and forth match. Rollins did this suicide dive and he missed, which then he went into the ring, did the whole Falcon Arrow thing on Ziggler. And it looked like he was about to win the match, right? It looked like the match was about to be done with. And there's this moment where, I guess where it happened was McIntyre got tagged by Ziggler. Yeah, there's like the whole blind tag thing, right? And you see Rollins going in for like a suplex, right, on Ziggler. And as he's doing the Falcon Arrows, right, like he's doing the Falcon Arrow, McIntyre hits the Claymore kick as he has Ziggler up in the air. And then this led to Ziggler just pinning Seth Rollins for the 1, 2, 3. So essentially, yes, Ziggler and McIntyre retain the tag titles, but they had people believe for a second that, oh my God, Rollins and Ambrose are going to become the tag team champions, which I knew it was going to happen. I said on the podcast, you can't have the entire group have a streak here. You cannot have the whole entire group have a sweep. You cannot have that happen. So with that being said, yes, Ziggler and McIntyre retain the tag titles. And it's also, again, I know people are going to be bored of it, but you have Dolph Ziggler pinning the Intercontinental Champion in Seth Rollins. So who'll just say they'll do a program, maybe tomorrow on Raw, they'll do Ziggler and Rollins for the tag titles, for the Intercontinental title. We'll fucking see. But again, I thought this was probably the best match on the show. And then what kind of like made me a little upset is, again, we had after this Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles for the WWE title. And here's the thing about it. Not the fact of the match, but the placement of this match. So you had this match literally go after this amazing match between freaking McIntyre and Ziggler versus Rollins and Ambrose. You have to follow that. The match to follow that was, again, the WWE title, where obviously people were like exhausted. People were dead after that match. So I feel like the crowd for Styles and Joe kind of sucked, in my opinion, because again, they were exhausted from the tag title match. If it was up to me, I would have had this literally. I would have swiped this match with Miz and Bryan and the Wives, in my honest opinion. But this match, for what it was, I thought, honestly, it was a fun match. That they played this whole video thing of Samoa Joe telling a story again. It's titled Night Night AJ. And again, some of the same stuff that he said on SmackDown. They added video clips leading up to the match and all that. And they want you, again, to believe that, hey, AJ Styles is triggered. Samoa Joe's in his head. And they had a very fun match for what it was. There was, again, just back and forth. It's crazy because, like, Samoa Joe, like, clotheslined the hell out of Styles. And Styles started bleeding from the mouth. I don't know if you guys caught that or not. It looked like, if it really, really did, that Samoa Joe gonna hit the Muscle Buster. And when was the last time we ever saw Samoa Joe hit a Muscle Buster in WWE? Since the whole Tyson Kidd incident back in 2015, right? So I thought that was gonna happen. I thought Samoa Joe. Think about it, right? Of any move for Joe to win the title with the Muscle Buster, holy crap, right? But it's the whole thing where Samoa Joe hits the Coquina Clutch on AJ Styles. And Styles is trying to get to the rope, but he can't do it. Samoa Joe's out muscling him. And they do the whole thing where Styles like counters it, that he rolls back while Joe has the hold locked in. Like the whole, Bret Hart, Roddy Piper, WrestleMania 8 type of finish. Or if you will, the whole Bret Hart, Steve Austin, Survivor Series 96 finish, if you kind of get what I'm saying. Where the referee's counting, right? 1, 2, 3. And Samoa Joe claims that, Styles tapped out. Styles tapped out. The match is over, right? Styles won. But then they show the replay, right? After the match is over with. Again, the ref decision is final. Keep this in mind. It's the same referee from the Hardy and Orton Hell in a Cell match, right? That Orton bullied to finish the match. So Samoa Joe's livid. He's fucking livid. He's pissed off. So they show the replay, the finish, if you will, from a different angle, where you can see literally the referee counting 1, 2, and after the ref is going for the 3, Styles is tapping out. Styles is literally there. He's tapping out. He's submitting. So it's like, yo, he literally tapped out. But the referee, again, it's final. And after you see Samoa Joe backstage, like he's being upset, he's being livid, he's screaming. He says, hey, in combat sports, a tap out is a finish, it's done. And Samoa Joe grants him another rematch at the Super Show in Australia. So apparently because of all that, because again, Samoa Joe's like, I don't want this to have any, excuses. It has to be no disqualification, anything like that. So it looks like it'll be a no DQ match with no excuses and stuff like that. So we'll see. Maybe Samoa Joe win the belt there. But again, if you think about it right now, Samoa Joe got robbed. Samoa Joe got Triple G'd here. He literally got Gennady Golovkin here, if you think about it. But we'll see how that match goes in Australia. Maybe he'll win it there. I'll be real about it, too. I think it will not happen. And it kind of sucks, too, because, again, if there's any person right now that deserves to be WWE champion, it's Samoa Joe. Hands down. But at the same time as well, again, my only gripe is that the WWE title match went after the tag title match, where the crowd was dead. They were exhausted. But hey, end of the day, it's obvious that WWE doesn't give a fuck about the WWE title. The WWE title hasn't even main evented anything since 2000. Literally, like the whole year has not main evented a damn thing, which is a shame as well. But hey, what do you expect? Yeah, the Miz and Maurice versus Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. This match really wasn't my cup of tea. And again, I get it. You want to add the wives just to the feud, what have you. But I just wasn't big on this match. Just your typical Brie Bella, Daniel Bryan couple moves here, doing the yes kicks, and just your typical as well Miz and Maurice moves here. The match literally ends with Maurice pinning Brie Bella with a roll-up. A freaking roll-up. So not only did Miz beat Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam, but now Maurice beats Brie Bella. So essentially here, the way I look at this is, hey, Miz and Maurice, they're right. Brie and Bryan are jokes. Now, I'm probably supposed to believe that they're going to be probably another match. I don't even know, but I think what needs to happen is they need to just put this on ice for a little bit. Maybe once this Joe and Styles program ends, you do Miz and Styles, and that's the guy that takes the belt off of AJ Styles, and you have Bryan win the Royal Rumble, and they go on to WrestleMania and they finish off, and that's where Bryan has his moment finally. Because you know for a fact that's the idea. Because again, you think about it, WWE right now does not give a flying fuck about the WWE title. So what do they have to lose really? Nothing. Again, the focal point is that Universal title that Roman Reigns has right now. So there you go with that. But again, I really wasn't big on this match. I really wasn't. It was whatever. We then go on to the Raw Women's Championship match. We go on to Ronda Rousey defending her championship versus Alexa Bliss. And I'm just going to say it. This match sucked. This match was terrible. Here's the thing, okay? And I want people to understand this, okay? Common sense, if you will. And I know what a lot of you motherflowers will say. A lot of you bobos will say, oh, but Steve, you got to understand though, Steve. Ronda Rousey had an injury, Steve. So it made sense for Alexa to have off. Yes, but have we forgotten the fact that at SummerSlam, almost a month ago or so, that Alexa Bliss was ragdolled by Ronda Rousey in like 4 minutes? And this match went, when it felt like 10 minutes or so, it felt like, where, oh my God, Alexa Bliss had offense on Ronda Rousey. Again, I'm supposed to believe that, while a couple weeks ago at SummerSlam in Brooklyn, Ronda Rousey, the same woman, ragdolled Alexa Bliss to win the Raw Women's Championship. But again, I get it. You want Ronda to sell. Ronda eventually got the win. Keep this in mind also, at ringside, you had literally Alicia Fox and Mickie James in the corner of Alexa Bliss, and you had in the corner of Ronda Rousey, Natalya. And again, this match really wasn't my cup of tea. Eventually, though, when all said and done, Ronda Rousey found a way to get the momentum back, and she ended up submitting Alexa Bliss just like that with the armbar. What this match also showed, yes, Ronda Rousey, say what you want, is progressing, she's great in the ring, all the hell you want. But I will say this too, she still has a lot to improve on. I feel like she still has holes in her game. That's what it showed me, obviously. But hopefully she does get better and she works at it. And honestly, at the same time too, I get it, the direction, again, per the leaked card from Evolution, it's going to be Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey next. I get it. Ronda's a big name, and you want Ronda to work with the alleged big names from WWE. The Nikki Bellas of the world, the Brie Bellas, hell, maybe even Natalya. I get why they did Alexa Bliss, whatever. But at the same time, I know people have been saying they want to see Ronda versus Sasha. Ronda versus, Ruby Riott, for instance. Ronda versus Bayley, if you get what I'm saying. But that's not going to happen, I'm sorry. And while she's still not also the fact that, hey, she's only there for a year. So all this is going to culminate with Ronda facing Charlotte eventually. That's what's going to happen. So we're making Ronda look strong in the best way possible. But again, there's small details that I think they need to work on with Ronda Rousey, in my honest opinion. That being said, after that, we go to the main event. We get the Hell in a Cell match for the Universal title. We get Roman Reigns defending his championship versus Braun Strowman. As you all know, Braun Strowman cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Mick Foley was the referee. And this match was literally, for one portion of the match, it was Braun and Roman in the ring. Superman punches, and Braun just throwing a steel steps at him. Mick Foley apparently in this match botched a 3 count. So Braun had the cover in 1, 2, and it looked like Foley covered for 3. You can tell he did. And Braun thought that he won. Everyone thought that he won, but then Foley's like, oh no, it's a 2 count, the 2 count. So again, you can even throw Braun Strowman into the whole, he just got Gennady Golovkin as well. He got robbed, if you will. And then, again, all this is happening, and both men are down, and you see literally Ziggler and McIntyre making the way back to the ring. They're trying to open the cell door, but the referee's not having it. And then out comes Rollins and Ambrose, and they're fighting outside of the structure. They clear an announce table, and then you see all of them climbing up one by one, and they're all fighting on top of the cell. And of course, you're going to have that one spot because, again, they got to fall through the table, right? So you had Rollins and Ziggler fighting on the side of the cage, or the cell, if you will. They're fighting, they're hitting each other on the cell. And again, we've seen this spot before. It's the spot they did in 2014 between Rollins and Ambrose in their Hell in a Cell match, where they're both on top of the side of the cell, like in the middle of the cell, if you will, on the side. And they both jump and they each hit an announce table. That's literally the exact same spot. And Foley's inside, like begging these guys not to do it, to get down, what have you. Because again, Foley is 20 years from that Hell in a Cell match between Foley and Taker. So Foley in his mind is like, you know, hey, he's reliving all this shit that happened to him. And again, Ziggler and Rollins, they go to the announcer table and shit. And Foley's in disbelief. And then the next thing you hear actually is Brock Lesnar's theme song. Everyone goes insane. So Brock Lesnar comes back. And it's Brock Lesnar, MMA Brock Lesnar. So Brock Lesnar's growing his fucking beard out like he's it's 2010 all over again. Like he's a UFC champion and shit. And he literally breaks the door off the hinges. He gets inside. He takes out both Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. And that's how they literally ended the show, with Brock standing tall, and there's no finish to Braun and Roman. Do I agree with the finish? Absolutely not. Because, again, the Hell in a Cell match is a no disqualification match. There must be a winner. And you think about it, Roman and Brock have been feuding for the last 2 years now, almost, so it seems, as well. So there needs to be a finish. And to me, the Hell in a Cell match is where you end feuds. And they're continuing now. And now, from what it looks like, you're going to probably add Brock. Now, I don't know if you will wait till Survivor Series. Maybe you will. Maybe they will. Who knows? Because I don't think Brock is working the Melbourne show. I don't think he is. I mean, to my understanding, it's a 6-person tag between the Shield and the Dogs of War. Or the Dogs of War. Right? As Braun, Ziggler, and McIntyre in a 6-person tag. You're not going to go final minute, which you probably can. Because, again, card is subject to change, right? So who's to say they end up doing, in Melbourne, a triple threat for the Universal title between Roman, Strowman, and Brock for that Universal title? Who's to say, right? And then you just have a tag team out between Ambrose and Rollins versus McIntyre and Ziggler. They can do that. Would I be opposed to it? No, because again, I get it. They're in Melbourne. They want to sell out the stadium, and Brock is still an attraction for WWE. I don't see Brock honestly becoming champion again. I don't see it happening. But anything can happen at the end of the day. Overall, again, Hell in a Cell, I thought honestly delivered. I gave it a B. And again, it surpassed my expectations. It really, really did. You know what sucks though? I know Raw this coming Monday is going to suck. Believe it or not, it is. Granted, they have now 2 shows to build up. They have to build up Evolution, which again, from my understanding, the ticket sales are dragging. And they also got to build up this Super Show in Melbourne. So we'll see how they do that. As always, Motherflowers, give me your thoughts down below in the comment thread of this video. Your thoughts on Hell in a Cell, if you enjoyed it or not. Also, this video will be available in audio format on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, PODBEAN, also over at Spotify. Links to all of those are down below in the description. So if you want to check those out, click on the link. Whatever you use for podcast formatting, let me know. Or there you go, have it your way. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. We are literally this close to 1,700 as we're on the road to 2K. So again, hit that sub, show some love, share this video through your entire social media. And as always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, Motherflowers, it's me, it's Steve, and it's wrestling and whatever. But damn, yo, Brock Lesnar's back, yo. know a lot of people are crapping on the ending, but I'm gonna say this, yo. Real talk. It's 10 stars, that ending, yo. It's fucking great. And yeah, it's the we talking. It's the fucking we talking, by the way. Don't take this shit seriously.